Students, in today's class we will already study about the domain state model. We know the domain objects will pass through qualitative distinct states during their lifetime. Example, the telephone was passing through different stages like dialing, ringing, connecting, disconnecting, and so many. That state diagram describes the various states the object can assume. It explains the properties and constraints of the object in various states, the events that take an object from one state to another. So this is how the state of object will be depicted for analysis. The classes that exhibit distinct states can be understood with the state model. State models gives us an idea. When we look at that particular state diagram, it helps us to understand the different states it passes through, which all events are making it to move from transit from one state to another one. So the domain state model has different states. The steps are identifying the domain class with the state. Second step is to find the states. Next is find the events, build the state diagram, and evaluate the state diagram that is built. We'll study them one by one. So the first step is to identify the domain class with the states. So when we have the different right classes that we have done in the first step of domain class construction, we have identified the classes which are present in the domain, and we found out it from the problem statement. Okay, so when we have the list of the classes, now in that list of classes we should identify those classes that may exhibit different states. So identify the classes that have different states or they have distinct life cycle. Okay, this life cycle can be either progressive history or it may exhibit a cyclic behavior. Example, whenever you are publishing a paper in the journal, it has a progressive history. That is, when you think of publishing a paper, you start collecting the material and it will be in the being written state. Right, so from the being written state it progresses to the next state, that is under consideration to accept or reject by the reviewer. When it is under consideration, the reviewer will take the decision whether to accept your paper for publication or reject it. When the decision has been taken, the next step would be either to accept or reject. So here the object paper to be published has the progressive history, that it has a progressive history, different states. First state was being written, second was under consideration, the next would be the decision that is taken by the reviewer whether to accept or reject. Sometimes the objects may also exhibit the cyclic behavior, that is you may go back to the previous state. Example, we'll just take the same example for the paper publication. So initially the paper to be published was in the state of being written. It was in the state of being written. Next it has moved to the next state for under consideration to accept or to reject. Right, next was either it would be accepted or rejected. Right, these were the T states. So it was a progressive history. Now when the paper was written and given for the consideration to whether to be accepted or rejected, here when the reviewer reviews your paper, he may think that with a small modification and revisions your paper could be accepted. Right, so he will ask you to do the required revisions and resend it. So you are going back to again being written state, do the required revisions and you may give it for again consideration. So like this we have the sometimes the cyclic behavior also. Similarly in the ATM system we have account concept. So it has different states, like the account can be opened, it can be closed, so many states are there, and the behavior of the ATM will depends upon the state of that particular account, because you cannot access the card which is there with the closed account. So the first step is to identify the domain classes with the states. Once we find out the different classes that have the different states, next is to find out those states which are associated with the classes. Okay, so list the state for each class. I have found a class and I say it has a different states associated with it. So I need to check what are those states may be. Next is with respect to specific states, we should identify few things. Those identifications are the attribute values that the object may have. Next is association that it may participate in and their multiplicity. Okay, so when we have taken the example of a account here, we should, when the state changes, which all attributes are being affected and what is the main association when they are being transited. So when the ATM is working, initially it will be in the idle state, right? So when the customer comes and insert the card, it starts associating its connection with the class customer there. Okay, and the multiplicity would be 1 to 1. In one ATM machine, one customer can access with one card, right? So multiplicity would be 1 to 1. So the attributes may be the pin that the person has entered, the identification of the card may be the attributes. So you should list the different states for each class. Next is with respect to the specific states, identify the meaningful attribute values and the associations and their multiplicity. Next is we should give a meaningful name to the state. Now the state is idle. It is giving us a meaning saying that the ATM is not being used by anybody. That's why I say it is in the idle state. So it should be descriptive enough to make the user understand what is the state is about. You should not explain how the state has come into that picture, but you should just give a brief name explaining the description of the state. Now the account has different states like the normal state, the closed state, overdrawn state. How they have come into that state? The normal state is your account is ready for the access. The closed state means the customer might have closed the account, but still his record may be available in the bank. If it was not available, it would be not found in the records, right? Next is overdrawn, means you have withdrawn more than whatever balance is there in your account. Like this, we should identify the states for each class, give the meaningful identification with respect to attribute values, associations and multiplicity, give a descriptive meaningful name to the state. This all comes in the second step, that is the finding the state. The next step is find the events. Next step is find the events that are causing the transition among different states. We have different states like idle state, active state, transaction state with respect to ATM. Next is we should find out the external stimuli that is making you to move from one state to another state. Sometime, otherwise we can say in many cases events may be completing a do activity. I hope you remember we have explained the understood do activity which will extend for some period of time, and the example given was Xerox machine may be in the state of jam when the paper will be stuck, which is given for the Xerox. So the blinking LED light will be blinking until that particular jammed paper is removed. So it is doing the do activity. Similarly, many events will be doing they will be completing the do activity only. For example, when the paper is given for the publication, right? So when it is under the consideration, until the reviewer goes to your paper and finally comes to a conclusion whether to accept it, reject it, or give it some modifications, he will be, it is under the consideration is a do activity that is being considered by the reviewer. When the event is found, we should capture the information that it conveys as a list of parameters. So whenever event is found, you should identify the information that it conveys to the list of parameters. Example is the events can be close account can be a event, withdrawal, excess fund can be a event, reported incorrect pin can be a event here, right? So whenever the event is found, you should convey the changes as a list of parameters. For example, whenever a event reported incorrect pin has happened, means the parameter has accepted a wrong pin by the user, right? So like that we should identify the information related to an event. The fourth step is build the state diagram. Always we know the state diagram consists of different states and the transition from one state to another state. In the first step, we have found out for which object we are drawing this particular state diagram, and with each class we have found out the different states, and in the third step we have found out the events. Now with the help of those states and events, we should draw a state diagram. The state to which each event applies has to be identified. Now we have found out different states like closing account, opening account, right? So when particular different states are found, to which object it applies has to be identified first. Next is add the transition to show the changes in the state. Identify where the transition originates and what its target state is. So whenever transition is happening, you should identify which state has initiated a transition and what is its target state. Example, if you take a object of car transmission system, so the car transmission system can be in different states, like it can be in the neutral state or can be in the reverse or in the forward state. Okay, so from the neutral you can go to the reverse state. So this becomes the state which is initiating a transition, and this is the target transition. Similarly, from reverse, if you want to go to the forward state, that time from the reverse you are going to neutral, from the neutral you are going to the forward, right? So the initiation is from the reverse state and the target was forward. So identify where the transition originates and what is its target state. Next is add the transition to the enclosing state, not to the substates. So if you look at this particular car transmission state diagram, here the neutral state is independent, reverse state is there, but whereas forward state consists of again substates within it. When the car is moving forward, it can be moving in the first gear, second gear or in the third gear, right? So these substates, just if you just look at this particular diagram, there is no transition from these substates to the outside states, right? From the whole system only, from the whole forward state only, we are writing the transition here. So add the transition to the enclosing state. So these are the enclosing states. These are the different enclosing states under the name forward. So there should be transition from enclosing state, not from the substates. Next is, whenever the transitions are specified, you should check, have we missed any of the transitions? Otherwise we can say we should check if any of the transitions are ignored or not. Okay, so once the transitions are specified, consider the meaning of each event in the states for which there is transition on event. There is a transition on the event. So just we'll assume one example. Now we have a ATM machine. Now it was in the previously it was in the idle state, right? From the idle state, whenever the customer enters the card, it has been moved to the active state, right? It has moved to the active state. So when it is in the active state, we'll start with the event enter pin. So now according to our thinking, the ATM machine should give us the information regarding the transactions that the customer can do, right? As soon as the event enter pin happens, the originating state is active and it is transiting to the target state, that is transaction. That is as a transaction. Now, in case if you see the active, from the active state you are unable to move to the transaction state. From the active state, if you are unable to move to the transaction state, means can it be ignored? No. Now, if there is no transition from active state to transaction state, can it be ignored? No, because you have come to the ATM machine to do some transaction. You cannot ignore it. So you should think about, have I missed any of the states, or is there any error has occurred? Yes, error might have occurred. That is, you might have entered a wrong pin. That's why there was no transition from the active to the transaction, right? So you should add error state which will handle that situation. Okay, otherwise similarly we might have missed some of the states, then you should add them. When there is no transition to, depending upon an event, you should check, is it ignored or is it missed? If it is missed, then add it. Or you should think about, does it represent an error? If it is representing an error, that is, as we have done in the ATM case, it was an error because entering the wrong pin was an error. So you should add the transition to error state also. The next fifth step is evaluating the state diagram. Now let us see, we have drawn a state diagram. We have drawn the state diagram for the object account. Let us see. The account can be in different states, like it can be closed, normal, or overdrawn, or suspended. So these are the transitions that are taking place from one state to another, and these are the events that are causing the transition from one state to another state. So look here, if the account is in the normal, means somebody has approached the bank and they have opened an account. So initially when the account is opened, it is in the normal state. From the normal state, if the person has withdrawn excess fund, then it will move into the overdrawn state. As soon as he deposits the sufficient fund, again it will come back to the normal state. From the normal state, if the customer feels, let him close the account, then it will be moved to the closed state. Similarly, from the normal state, if the bankers or the administrative people, they feel that they have suspected some fraud is being happened, they may suspend. So this suspension can be a administrative action that is being taken on the customer to suspend the account. So when the case is cleared, then they may release the hold and it may be moved back to the normal state. Next is, your account is normal, but when you are accessing the same account in the ATM machine, you might have repeatedly entered an incorrect pin, because if you try for more than 3 times, it will be into the suspend state, right? Because of, not because of fraud, but because of repeated incorrect entering of the pin, it might have moved to the suspended state. So but when you approach back the bank, and if the hold is released, again it will move back to the normal state. So like this, when the particular state diagram is drawn, you should start evaluating it. When you are evaluating it, you should examine each state. So I'll examine whether each state is correct. Next, you should examine all the states are whether they are connected or not. If there is no connection between a state, you should check what event may make a transition from one state to that particular state, right? So all the states should be connected, and you should verify the path. That is, if it is in the progressive history, if the object has a progressive history, you should check from initial to final state, is there a path, right? In our initial starting of this video, we have seen a progressive path for publishing of a paper, from the being written to consideration, from consideration to acceptance. So there should be a path from the initial to final. Then you should look at all the variations that are present. Next, if there is a cyclic nature is present, then you should check a loop, right? So whenever there is a loop, you should always think about a dead state that will terminate the state. because when the paper was under consideration, the reviewer may say, if you do some modification, we'll accept your paper for publication, but it should not move into the infinite state. There should be a criteria somewhere to stop it and come out of that particular loop. This is how we'll do the evaluation of a state diagram that is drawn.